Hi all. So you're at the point where you want to try a soul lesson and you can't remember how to do it. This quick 5-minute tutorial will hopefully give you all the information that you need. So we're going to start right at the beginning, starting your soul. It's fairly straightforward. We just need 3 main ingredients. You need your students, you need computers, and you need the computers to have access to the internet. The type of computers is pretty crucial with the soul. We would recommend that you don't use the typical computer laboratories in the school, but you actually book the Soul Lab. There are 3 in the school, 2 in the Health and Social Care department that are pretty busy and booked via the department time, but the one down in F Block is bookable via the online system. And those computers are specifically designed to work with a soul environment. They're touchscreen and they allow groups of 4 to work together around those computers. In terms of structuring the session, there are 3 stages to it. As a teacher, your main requirement is to ask a big question. And then you take a step back and you allow students to investigate it on their own. And crucially, at the end of the session or at a later session, we ask group to present their discoveries. It's an important aspect of the soul that students are able to demonstrate their learning, whatever they're learning, even if they haven't quite come up with the answer that you think they would come up with. And that's the strength of the self-organised environment. So how does it work? Students need to form groups of 4, occasionally 5, but in theory, the recommendation is 4. It allows collaborative practice to excel and allows students to talk together in a group that works. It's important that you let students change groups at any time. Your role is a facilitator. They're in charge of the learning. And they can move between groups, talk to one another, and establish what each group is doing. The overall aim really is to ensure that all groups contribute to a big picture question, and each group may take on a particular role or focus area in order to do that. You might want to appoint a class police officer, if that's the right term, someone who's in charge of actually making sure groups are working and feeding back to you on the progress of the group. So, moving on, each group shares a computer. They work together on that computer. And what we hope to see is fantastic dialogue and collaboration. Information should be freely shared between the groups, and they should be allowed to talk, debate, argue if necessary, both amongst themselves and with one another. It's important that you take a step back. I mentioned it once already. Tell the students you're there only to observe. Some soul environments, particularly some of the other schools in the cloud, don't allow teachers into the room at all. We think that teachers in the room is beneficial, not only to observe learning, but also to evaluate the progress of the groups and share back. The presentations themselves should prompt discussion. Are they linked to the question that you've set? What have the students learned? Have they come up with areas of curiosity outside of what you expected? And to summarise, perhaps the most crucial part of the whole thing is the quality of the big question. It should spark curiosity. You should not be able to Google it, and hopefully it will take students in learning in different directions. Some of the ones I particularly like are as follows. How big is space? Why do humans walk on 2 legs and dogs on 4? What is a brain? What would happen if all insects died? Why are there no animals bigger than a blue whale? And my favourite of all, how do our eyes know how to cry when we are sad? So, we really hope you'll engage in a soul. Give it a go. I believe very strongly from the experience we've had in George Stephenson High School already as a school in the cloud, that it will promote a fascination for learning amongst young people. And it absolutely promotes some of the school improvement priorities around collaborative learning and student voice. So join our experiment, join the movement, and hopefully we can develop further our school in the cloud, contribute more to the university at Soul Central, and really take self-organised learning environments to the next level. Thanks for listening.